I know most people when you are in a relationship, sometimes you want to ask yourself, am I in a toxic relationship or not? So I want to give you signs that can tell you you're actually in a toxic relationship. Number one, if you always have to fight for this other person's attention. Anytime una feel unafightia attention ya umse and maybe they're not giving you attention, it means probably unajidate. But also sometimes it can mean wewe na wewe unataka attention mingi and the other person is not able to give you. But kama ni genuine, this person doesn't give you attention, that's a toxic relationship, okay? Na ujue kuna levels to this thing. There are levels to toxic relationships. The other thing also ni anger issues. You find that your partner akona anger issues, haumuelewangwi, hata yeye mwenyewe ana confess, anakuambia unajua mimi uko na anger issues, you know, so kuna time anaweza kuwa so angry. So hata kama haijafika point enye imekuwa physical, it will get to that point. Iko boiling point too. So anytime ana express hizo feelings za hey, unajua unanikasirishanga, unajua inaweza kuwa dem ama inaweza kuwa chali, alright? Because also we've had stories where like guys also wamepigwa na dem. So sometimes it can be the anger is coming from the lady. Na ni mtu anaweza kukosia damage. Hata anaweza kosa kukupiga wewe personally, but they can destroy your stuff. You see these people wenye mnaachana and you find anaenda kwa nyumba ya mtu, sijui amekatakata viatu, hautawahi vaa hizo viatu tena. I think there was a story like that. Kuna mwingine anaweza enda kwa nyumba yako aharibu all the electronics, kuna mwenye anaweza vunjanisha vikombe zote na sahani zote. So you see, if somebody is destructive, then it means that's a toxic relationship. Na watu kama hao you need to be very careful. Jua ni mtu anaweza kupeleka hasara nyingine hujaiona. I've had a story, I've had like a previous story yenye mtu aliachana na dem, you know, a guy aliachana na dem and then dem akakuja akamuibia ama like akatuma watu wamuibie and kila kitu iliibiwa. Can you imagine? Kila kitu iliibiwa kwa hiyo nyumba. So you can imagine just how far a toxic relationship can go. The other thing also ni, of course, kama kuna physical fighting, if you are fighting with this person and probably unaonanga ni kama maybe it's normal, it's not normal, it's toxic, you're in a toxic relationship right now, alright? Na kama uko kwa hiyo relationship, such a relationship right now, mimi nitakwambia tu utoke, because vitu zinaanzanga kidogo kidogo. Hiyo fighting inaanzanga na kaslap kamoja, probably inaanza na ngumi moja, probably inaanza na kushoviwa, you know, unarushanishwa, inaanzanga tu hivyo pole pole until unasikia mtu alidedishwa tu hivyo. So it's important to know that anytime una realize umse anapenda kupigana, please avoid those people, avoid such people. Na kuna watu hadi wanaenda, you know, in some instances anachukua hadi kisu, they want to cut you, they want to you get. So don't end up in such a relationship, because uliingia relationship juu ya mapenzi, unless you are there for that toxic ama that drama. Unajua kuna watu pia wanatakaga drama kwa relationship ama that toxicity. So if you realize somebody is toxic, and that's why sometimes even when I go live, you will notice nikienda live on TikTok, I ask my guest, are you toxic or are you dramatic? And sometimes you'll hear even a lady say I'm toxic, you'll hear a lady say I'm dramatic. Sasa ukishasikia mtu akona hizo character mbili, then you need to know that, you know, a relationship can turn toxic kama hauko very careful. The other thing you'll notice in a toxic relationship, they will cheat outrightly. Kama ni mwanaume ama kama ni dem, anaweza flirt na mtu ukiwa hapo because they know there's nothing you will do, but anajaribu kukufilisha. They will call people when you are there, ata pick up calls, ata send you messages, ata send you a picture ukiwa tu hapo, you know. And sometimes because inakujanga maybe ina happen at a certain point in a relationship, you might think maybe umse ata change ama maybe this is just a phase. So unakuwa surprised juu unashindwa umse ana care for everything ama like akona mimi tumekuwa sawa, but all of a sudden ameanza kukuonesha tu wako kama dharau. I feel like that's their toxic nature inaanza kutokea. By the way, most of these people, hata sometimes ukiuliza mtu kwa toxic relationship, hata kuambia ati ilianza from day one. Juu ingeanza day one si angehepa. But unapatanga after a few months ndio mtu anaanza kuchange character pole pole, okay? So when they start cheating on you outrightly, anaanza kuleta mtu mwingine, anaanza kuonesha picha za mtu mwingine, anaanza kukompea na watu wengine, then you know now you've entered a toxic relationship, okay? The other thing also ni unapata they get to a point where they are so negative towards you that hata hauwezi kumka the last time mtu alikucompliment. You can't remember the last time this person gave you a positive comment. So anytime they are negative towards you, that's a toxic relationship, because what they are trying to do, they are trying to break you. Anajaribu kukuonesha we you are nothing, you know, you can't be, you know, you can't amount to anything. And sometimes it might come off from the point of they are actually projecting. Maybe even ndo wana feel about themselves, but they are projecting it on you. Another sign that will show you in a toxic relationship is when you are always dragged into drama. Yani wewe umeamka tu vizuri, lakini mmeenda tu pahali na mse ashakudrag kwa drama. Mshaenda hoteli, ashaanza kubishana sijui na waiter, ashaanza kukuingiza hapo ndani. Mmeenda maybe to a club, ashaanza vita na mabouncer na nini. So anytime you find that somebody is dragging you into drama, first of all, 48 laws of power inasemanga avoid people with misfortune. Okay, so anytime kwa around watu wenye wako na dark cloud, unafunga tukiwatch cartoon and those unaona mtu anatembea na dark cloud kenye kanashinda na mvua, avoid such people because you will always be dragged into drama. Let me tell you the truth, kuna watu huku nje wanafuatangwa na misfortunes. It's almost like their life, you can't explain what happens in their life because it's one misfortune after another misfortune. Avoid such people. And I'm not saying such people don't deserve love, but sasa ni wao wa change ama ni wao wa get out from that cloud, from that dark cloud, so that they can be able to be in a relationship that actually works. Okay, another sign ni ati huyo mtu atakuwa very disrespectful to the people around you. So anytime you notice that umse ameanza kukua disrespectful, maybe even with your family, maybe even with your parents, maybe even with your siblings wako ama mabishti wako, ukinotice imeanza kuwa hivyo, what even that person maybe is trying to do, anajaribu kuku isolate from these people. Okay, so anajua anytime yeye ako, your friend will never want to be there, your sibling hata wahi kuwa hapo, especially kama umekuwa na yeye na hauski. Okay, so sometimes always listen, sometimes listen to your friends, sometimes listen to those people who are close, especially your siblings. Juu watakwambia, watakaa chini wakwambia, mse by the way kuna venye ameanza kuchange, ama huyu mtu kuna venye ampelekani poa, ama kuna venye huyu mtu ako toxic. People will be able to see, because sometimes when you are deep in the relationship, unaweza kumependa mse to the level where you don't even see the flaws, you don't see even the negative things. Juu umefocus always on the positive things. Maybe as a lady you are thinking mse ata change, they will change, they might never change, and you might have to come out of that toxic relationship. And so nikimalizia, a relationship, for one, you need to know a relationship kama ni genuine, that's where you are supposed to find genuine love, genuine peace. Okay, hiyo ni ile place yenyewe hata kama mna struggle as a people, like as individuals, hata kama mna struggle kwa life yenu, a relationship should be one thing and inawapea peace. Lakini the minute tume notice relationship imeacha kuwa peaceful, umeacha kusikia raha kwa hii relationship, trust me, then that relationship has turned toxic, because either this other person ameanza kukuja na so much negative energy that imeanza kuruin your relationship. So if you don't address it early enough, inaweza ruin your relationship hadi ishe, and especially probably if you guys are in love, unapata ishafika kuwa toxic hadi anytime you meet you are just fighting, anytime you meet you are just fighting, you are arguing, you are always talking about we ufanyangi. That's a toxic relationship. And you see there is a chance that by the time unafika your point, because maybe wewe hata ukiingia kwa relationship you are this happy person nini, the minute umeanza kufeel ni kama you've started to change and your friends start to tell you na squeezy umechange, squeezy, you know. And let me tell you, a toxic relationship inaweza fanya hata uanze kuchapa, inaweza fanya hata your presence ianze kuchange. Why? Because you are surrounded with so much negative energy that it starts changing you, and energy yako inaanza kukua depleted. Okay, so any happy energy yenye ulikumebeba unapata inaanza tu kuisha polepole. Why? Because you're in a toxic relationship. And I think the last point yenye nitasema, if you find yourself in a relationship where somebody is constantly discouraging you, anakuambia wewe ni failure, anakuambia wewe hakuna kitu uta achieve, and yet you are saying you're in a relationship with that person, that's a toxic relationship. And I don't even understand why you're in that relationship to begin with. Okay, because at the end of the day, the only thing utapata kwa hiyo relationship, the only thing utatoka nayo kwa hiyo toxic relationship ni depression, anxiety. Okay, you might even get to a point where you start feel like ama hii life, but you know, you might get to that point uanze kufeel ni kama hii life imeacha kuwa na meaning. The minute imefika hapo, you need to know you need to come out of that relationship. Why? Because it's not worth you losing your life just because of someone, ati juu ya mapenzi tu. Mapenzi ni kitu inaishanga leo na unapata mtu mwingine na anakupenda. So usibebe watu kwa roho sana, udhani ati huwezi pata mtu mwingine mwenye anaweza kupenda the same way that you are able to love them. Okay, so it's important for you to walk away from that toxic relationship today, not tomorrow, today. Okay,
Gachin Lion.